with one of the most fascinating people in Dubai.
I only get into business to win.
A man who's sometimes misunderstood.
No matter what people think of me, I really don't give a shit.
And I'm here to clear up some things.
I think everyone should feel comfortable with how they want to carry themselves.
His name is Ibrahim Al-Samari, also known as the Blooming Man. Tap into his life and let you know a little bit about what he does. You got your flower shop, you got your Forever Rose here, you're doing the Dubai Bling.
I also own a Big Smoke Burger, which is a Canadian franchise.
Ooh.
We have the Chicory, which is also another Canadian franchise.
His philanthropy.
When I stand up and speak, for, Palestinian human rights, I do it from my heart. If you don't accept yourself, you're never going to make it. You can't convince other people to accept you for who you are if you don't accept yourself.
Exactly. Let's start off with, how's your day been?
It's been long. This is why I have to have my nutrition snack today, because, I barely can get a meal in sometimes. No time. Back-to-back meetings. I had my Netflix interview this morning.
Nice.
It's where we do our confessions.
Okay.
Takes a lot of our energy. It's about 2 hours, sometimes 3 hours.
Is there another soundbite? Like the one that's LJ, 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 LJ?
There are quite a few, actually.
Okay. Yeah. I know you're not going to let us down with those sound bites.
Yeah. They have new, coming soon, more sound bites.
Yes.
So I had that, and then I had two podcasts. I had a podcast before this one, which is for university.
So I wasn't special.
And then I had some business meetings, and then I have an event tonight. So it's literally back to back, and it's been like this all week.
And let me tell you guys something. This man was punctual and actually arrived early. He had to wait on us to finalize. And we're literally our biggest goal was to have him on this interview. And he actually showed up early. It shows how much he respects people's time. And honestly, appreciate you for that.
Yeah,
so,
something I teach also my staff is that in business, they have to understand if you have a meeting or if you have something, it's the beginning of something.
Yeah.
So don't ruin it from the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
People show you who they are once. Trust them who they are. So if the person didn't respect your time once, then they don't really care.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, regardless of who am I meeting, it could be a royal family member or it could be an employee coming for an interview. I always like to be on time.
That's amazing.
Because it makes me proud of myself. So I have accomplished something. Being on time is an accomplishment, especially when you have such a busy schedule. So managing your time, for me, it's like a game. I got here in time means I won. If I didn't make it on time, that means I lost.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't like losing.
See, we know that the $1 million shot is, we can't have you hiding it. So in regards of schedule, I had my fair share here. Confession. This is another confession. I had my fair share of people not really respecting the schedule. And they assume that you're just gonna stick around, but when you know your own value and you know that your time is gonna shine, you just okay, no problem. It's in God's hands. God is in control of.
I mean,
all
sometimes 5, 10, 15 minutes acceptable, but always I think communication is key. So if you're running late, just be a man and say, listen, I'm running late. I'm so sorry. Something happened and whatever, but a lot of times people think you're waiting, it doesn't matter, or you need me, I don't need you. It shouldn't be that way.
And the worst is if they don't show up at all without telling you that they're not showing up. That's
is,
what I'm talking about.
That is just absolutely disrespectful.
Yeah. But see, what's amazing is that and the point of this podcast is to give awareness to the youth, inspire them, let them know that things aren't as easy as they think it is. They'll look at you and they think it's just things automatically fall into place. But I had the experience of seeing how amazing of a system you've set up. And I'm sure it's taken you so long to set this organized system. When I walk in here, you have a certain individual, dealing with your scheduling, who's aware of your full schedule. Then someone else is aware. And then, when we're trying to get this going, we had to deal with someone. And they're all very professional, punctual. And I can tell that, because I have staff too, I can tell that you instill so much. You're sort of their mentor at the same time because of the way they communicate and their punctuality, their efficiency. So I think that's something that's amazing. Is this something that took you a while, or is something you took on like pretty early?
I mean, setting up a company and having a correct organization takes time, but you always have to be guiding them into what you want. It's communication is key. Telling them how things should be done, teaching them, making sure you have the people who have the right mindset with you is very important. I filtered through a lot of bad employees to get the good ones. And we created an environment that we're all together for the same, which is the success of the company. We work like a family together. I treat them like family. And they know if they go anywhere in other companies in the UAE, no matter how much salary anyone will offer them, no one will treat them how I treat them, because I treat them as if they're working for their big brother and not a boss.
And I think that's something that's a big lesson to those who are watching aspiring entrepreneurs or looking for a position in a place in a great culture, is that you look at how much you're getting paid, but you also got to look at the type of mentorship you're receiving. Most of the staff I have get poached by some of the biggest names. Why? Generally, being an entrepreneur for a long time and people knowing that you're good at vetting, especially me being in entertainment, a lot of my staff develop enough qualities and qualifications that will allow them to surpass most of the people they grew up with. And I'm saying this because I know this applies to you as well.
True.
And so a lot of times, when they do leave, they realize and they don't know how to come back. The door is always open, but not when I needed you the most, and you ended up leaving, which I'm sure both you and I have been through some of these difficult situations. Now, what's really interesting is when I first knew about you, I heard about the Forever Rose brand, but the coffee shop. Coming to Dubai, I was looking for your shop. I ended up walking into your flower shop, and I was like, wow. Okay, so we're talking to a philanthropist / entrepreneur, because now I became aware that you were part of Dubai Bling as well. I don't want to touch up on that too much. I know everyone in the podcast industry is trying to your story is actually more valuable than a lot of the stuff that you're associated with. So my question is, what else? Is there anything else that, and is this something you want to share?
So one thing that when you went into the flower shop, it was on purpose, because what we did is we designed the flower shop facade outside what the design of the cafe is inside. Because we want people to automatically go in there and thinking they're going to find the cafe, but they find the flower shop. Mentally, they've registered that there's a flower shop there. Otherwise, they said, no, I don't want a flower shop. I want the cafe. So then that's why afterwards, next to it is the cafe. So we created the customers. And after you finish your experience in the cafe, you can go back to the flower shop, and for any occasion you can have there.
So the cafe came first, then the flower shop, and how much
the flower shop was older. So the flower shop we've been having the flower shop for 10 years. The cafe is about 3 years.
Okay.
So the flower shop is the mother of the cafe.
Okay.
So what we did is, because of the way we're situated and the way the street is, the flower shop comes first, and then the flower shop, then the cafe comes. But everyone always automatically goes into the flower shop because of the facade. It's like the cafe, black and white, but inside it's just black.
That's exactly what happened with me. And I noticed when I'm walking in the malls, you guys have a lot of
we have pop-ups and kiosks,
and kiosks,
because we want
stuff.
People to see the beauty of our products without walking into the shop also.
So I was here during Valentine's Day. I had to make up for a lot of things with my wife. You notice with that, you don't understand. I'm not going to get into my personal life, but if that video, I was sitting down and I forgot to wish my wife a happy birthday. And I remember I took a video with him spontaneously, and I looked, I'm like, man, this guy, God loves this man, like this guy is keeping marriages together,
Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah. So, in regards of, you got your flower shop, you got your Forever Rose here, you're doing the Dubai Bling. Is there a point you feel like, okay, you know what, I'm content here, or do you have a lot more aspirations?
I also own a Big Smoke Burger, which is a Canadian franchise.
Ooh.
We have the Chicory, which is also another Canadian franchise. We have our own brand called Nablus, which is specialized in kanafa and Arabic food. We have Rogue Cafe. We own all the carts and kiosks outside of Dubai Mall who does like funky things like Turkish ice cream and these type of things. I have some land in Thailand that we produce natural oud, which is for our brand Forever Oud. We manufacture chocolates in the UAE for various brands. And the newest one is a Canadian company that I bring to Dubai, which is called Rejuve Plus for the NMN supplements.
Wow.
So I'm kind of spreading my wing a little bit in healthcare at the moment because I believe it's things that I live by, things that I use myself. I use a lot of supplements for the gym, like proteins and carnitine and things that I need to have for my energy. So I want to explore that as well. And I see for the future, like I want to develop more things like in real estate, and I want to grow in different ways. I know a lot of things about business, and I think I can perfect many different fields. I just have to learn about it.
Yeah, I mean, I can't even begin to understand how you manage or how you tend to manage. And obviously, I think we mentioned that earlier, is you just try to find the right people on the team. But still, like some people, like, with one of their assistants, they're like struggling and they feel like, so seeing you, it seems like you're a free man. You're like unemployed, but we have a lot of money.
When I opened my first business, I think I was like 16 years old in America, or 17. I can't remember exactly. 16. And I was like, my God, how am I going to run one shop? Like there's so many things, employees and this and that. When you perfect one, you get two, and you get two, and it starts growing. And it just becomes a flow. Like you put an operational manager and then it just happens. And the reason what motivated me is like, I know companies who has like 4,000 shops. They're doing it fine.
Yeah.
So nothing's impossible. You just have to find the formula. You have to try. You have to do it. If you fail, something went wrong, you fix it and you try again.
And it's very true. It's a lot of people are afraid to try. And I can only assume, as well as other entrepreneurs that I've come across, is you must have failed a lot prior to getting to the point where you've succeeded, or no?
Actually, I didn't.
A lot of
people. I mean, I've been through a lot. But I never had any failed business.
Wow.
Abraham Lincoln had 72 failed businesses before he became the president of the US.
Wow.
I had failed management concepts, but I haven't had a failed business because I only get into business to win.
Yeah.
I'm very, very funny about the risks I like to take. And if I see the business not doing well, or if I think that I don't want to do it anymore, or think that I don't have any added value to the business, I'll sell it.
Do you find that one of your key traits is resilience? Perseverance?
No, I just like to outdo myself. I like to shock people, and I like to shock myself. I like to surprise myself. Like, Ibrahim, you did that, and I laugh about it. Like I look at him like, yeah, I did it. Like one of the things is like I was always afraid of heights. And then I was like, you know what? I'm going to go. I woke up one morning, literally woke up one morning. I'm like, I'm going to jump out of a plane. I'm not joking. I was like, I called the Skydive Dubai. I'm like, I want to jump out of a plane.
Yeah.
We have today at 10 o'clock, and it was like 9:30 in the morning, like 10 o'clock. We have, like, I'll be right there.
Wow.
I didn't tell my mom. I didn't tell my wife. I didn't tell anyone. I just went and I jumped out of the damn plane.
Wow.
I was so scared. I thought I was going to die from fear.
Prior to even jumping.
Yeah,
like
I was
while you're
shaking.
on the plane.
I was shaking. And I looked at the door, and the door opened. I was like, oh my God. And I was like, Ibrahim, you're an idiot. You're a stupid. You're a hamar, a jahsh, a kelb. And I was like, why are you doing this to me? Like, I'm talking to myself. Why are you doing this? You're going to have a heart attack. What are you going to tell? Your mom doesn't even know you're here. What if something happens to you and she found out that you jumped out of a plane? And I was like, you know what? No. I'm like, Ibrahim, shut up. You have to do this. You never. And then now I'm not afraid of any height.
Wow.
And so I pushed myself.
Afraid of heights. There's people who are not afraid of heights that are risk takers. that are traumatized from, and they will never.
No, I go.
skydive.
If I was afraid of scary movies, I'll probably hire someone from the movie to come try to attack me with a chainsaw just to get myself out of that zone.
Yeah.
But I like to solve my own problems. You know.
So, I was like, okay, I want to do a podcast with this guy. Then I was out with a bunch of tough guys, okay, here in Dubai, and strong personalities, tough shell. With the night ended, we went out, we had a great time. The night ended, we all went to the condo and we turned on the TV and we watched your podcast.
Which one?
The one that you recently did with Mo Vlog.
Mo Vlogs.
And we ended up watching another one. And I'm going to tell you that every single one of these guys have so much respect for you after that interview. The love you have for your mom. Listen, I was sitting with these guys. At first, they're like, who's this guy? And I'm like, well, let's just watch. And they're like, man, I like this guy. He loves his mom. And they're like, you can see them wanting to message their mom, some of them. Your love for your mom is remarkable. You mentioned your mom. That's why I brought it up as well, just now about the jumping the thing. And you standing by your mom during a certain difficult part in her life and making certain decisions. And it upsets me, if people have a misconception of you, although we just know each other very briefly, but just I know that if I was to hear something about you, I won't tolerate it, because you showed me the utmost respect, and you show everybody that comes in this door. I know for a fact, if your worst enemy walks in this door, you'll greet them, you'll give them a coffee, you'll give them a cake, and you say welcome, because that's the type of person. You're a man of God. Absolutely.
Alhamdulillah. And I don't think I have any enemies that I know of, at least maybe that I don't consider my enemies. But the thing is that, me being good to my mom, it's wajib alayya. It's like something that it's not by choice. It comes by default. And I'm also very close to my dad, but my dad doesn't like to be on social media. And the thing is that no matter what people think of me, I reached to a point in my life where I really don't give a shit. Like, whatever someone thinks of me does not move even one hair on my body. I don't care. Because what I realize is that you cannot make everyone happy. If you're a good person, you're going to have the bad people hate you. And if you're a bad person, you're going to have the good people hate you. And if you're a good person and sometimes you do bad things, you're going to have everyone hate you. So for me, I respect everyone. I give everyone the time of the day. I'm not racist, not a sexist. I don't treat people based on what they own. I treat people on based how they treat me. So if someone ever doesn't like me for something that they've seen on TV, or from maybe them stereotype me, it's their problem. It's not my problem. However, I do welcome haters. It's because haters makes me who I am today. It's haters that when they start talking about you, that people that love you start defending you, you suddenly become a household topic. And that's how you make a difference.
Exactly.
Nobody is going to support someone that everyone loves.
If I'm here visiting and we end up sitting together and watching your podcast and having that perception of you, that's what you're doing, is you're building a legacy, and people are going to misunderstand you along the way, and you let your character outperform whatever is being said about you.
Yeah.
And obviously there's going to be misconceptions of you, but they have not gone through your journey. And unfortunately, because of what society has embodied as a personality type that's supposed to be more masculine, more feminine. I mean, sometimes people are like, Sami, well, why are you soft? I mean, I've almost lost my life a few times, not once, a few times. So of course I'm going to be humble and soft, regardless of what my achievements are and my strength.
The funny thing is that the ones who are pretending to be the most masculine are actually the most soft ones, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's okay to be what you want to be, but I think everyone should feel comfortable with how they want to carry themselves. If I want to wear something and it's my decision, it's no one's business. As long as I'm respecting my country, respecting the country I'm in, respecting the law, respecting my parents, it is no one's business. I remember like one day I was wearing jeans and they're like, oh, no one wears skinny jeans anymore. Shut up. I don't care what a trend is going, that you guys are wearing parachute pants, or I don't really give a shit. I have worked so hard to be who I am today. I really don't care what your little twat ass has to worry about what I'm wearing today or tomorrow. It's not your business.
No, that's so true.
I want to wear it. Kefi, yahi, and do what you want from me. It's my life. It's my body. It's my decision. Shut up. It's so annoying that people always interfere. Oh, why you walk like that? Oh, why you do this? Why don't you learn to shut up? Why don't you look at yourself? And it's the ones with the most faults that all start pointing it at each other. Yeah. And in Islam, it says you're not supposed to bring out the faults of your Muslim brother or sister.
You're supposed to make about 70 excuses. This happened to me recently. I comment on someone and then someone responded to my comment something negative, and they're like, I hope Allah forgives you. And I'm like, how are you passing judgment on me? Now you're using Allah and asking him to forgive me. But you're supposed to, if you complete those verses, if you read them, you're actually supposed to make excuses for me. How dare you say that about me?
Yeah.
Just because you didn't hear my point of view, I didn't give my perspective, because I move on. I let my character speak for itself.
And I remember I posted a video on Instagram. I was at the gym and I had a hoodie that was kind of like short.
Oh, is it the workout one?
Yeah. And I was wearing cargo pants and this one. And it's so funny because when I went to go put on the hoodie, I didn't know that it was that short. So I put it on. I'm like, I won't take it off. Yeah. I wasn't trying to make a fashion statement or nothing. Yeah. This girl comes in and she's like, oh, by the way, if you don't want people to make fun of you, then don't be wearing stuff like that. Do you really think what I care what people think or what people say? I really don't. But just for you to go out of your way to write that comment only goes to show what a lowlife you are. And then I was like, I don't care. I don't care what people think. And then she was like, well, you claim to be religious. And she's obviously like, she's a lady in her Instagram and she's not Muslim because she had a cross on her page and she wasn't wearing hijab, obviously. So I was like, okay, so she's not Muslim. So I'm like, who are you to come and to point, because I speak about religion, I can't wear a shirt to your standard.
She doesn't want to like you.
Exactly.
She doesn't want to like you. She wants you to fit the narrative of a Muslim who is angry, who is not loving, who doesn't have some, and who knows what excuse me for saying this, is not feminine, but someone who's in touch with themselves and just wants to be welcoming. I mean, it's obvious that you get along very well with all genders, all whatever people's life path that they're taking. You attract them. You're a magnet to them.
Yeah.
You attract guys like me who've had a tough past. You attract girls, guys. You know what I mean? So. And I think some people don't know, like, you're married. Yeah. And
I've been married. The first time I was married, I was 17. I got married in 24, and now I'm in 35.
And so now you're married. And how does your wife feel about your path? Because I know that for me, I think my wife is my backbone. My
wife, she thinks, she reads sometimes the comments and she thinks it's funny. She's like, what is these losers? They're so stupid. Sometimes she gets angry. She feels that she has to answer them. I was like, don't answer
she wants
them.
To protect you.
I was like, there's no need to answer them. I don't really care what they think. I don't care what they assume. And some of them are like, oh, why do you hide your wife? They're expecting to see someone strange or something. My wife is just as beautiful as anyone else's wife, and she's just as normal as any other. But they don't understand that in our culture, especially in the Middle East, there's a lot of women who don't like to be in social media. They're just they like to keep it low key. Yeah. So I just think about something when I see people talk this way, or they down talk someone, or I was like, Ibrahim, did I ever comment on anything? I can't remember. Ever since the the MySpace days and High Five, I never ever, even when I was 16, 17 years old, made a rude comment on anyone's photo. Or to interfere myself, oh no, don't do this or do that. Or even if someone's doing a wrong workout, in a video, I don't go and say, oh, it's wrong. I mind my own business. But you have to understand, these people who do this, these are the losers, because in actuality, I never seen anyone in actuality come up to me and say something bad to me.
And look, it makes sense from personal experience. I've been through so much. I know we can talk forever, but having my wife only comes on Instagram once in a while. She has about 20 pictures in the last 10 years. So she'll post, last picture she posted was 2 years ago. When she was on social media and someone decided that they didn't like me and made a story, whatever, she got attacked. Like, bro, that's a bit too far. You can't know, but like, I'll let it go if it's with me, but for it to go that far. So when people are like, why are you hiding your wife? It's not that you're protecting. You're hiding.
Yeah.
You're hiding the world from your wife. You're not hiding your wife from the world.
For me, I see abnormal to take your wife and to flock her in front of everyone, using her body half naked and showing her to the world. I don't see you as a man when you do that. I think that you are basically like pimping your wife. Like for me, it's like aib. And that's my opinion. But I don't go around telling men that, hey, cover your wife or bring her in, bring her out, take her in, or where's your wife? No, I don't ask people. It's aslan in our culture, like in Dubai, in the Emirati culture, you cannot even ask your friend, how is your wife? It's aib. You can't ask me, how's my wife, how's my sister, how's my mom? You cannot. You're not even supposed to know my wife, my sister, or my mom's name. Imagine.
That's amazing. I have a friend.
Even as guys, when we're out together, we don't answer no one answers his wife's call because he doesn't want his friend to hear his wife's voice.
Wow.
It doesn't mean we're ashamed. It's a form of protection.
It's a form of ghira, which is actually in our religion to actually protect.
Of course. You know, if the man doesn't have ghira, then he's not a man. How can he accept his wife to go out like that and do that? It's not normal.
I have a friend of mine. I've never seen his wife except for when I was doing this big exhibition and he happened to come with his wife and his child. Never seen her. Never heard her, never talked to her, never. And most people would be like, well, what's wrong? Why doesn't he want to introduce? But this guy is the guy who brought me closer to prayer. This guy is the guy who sent me business. This guy is the guy who will not accept anyone speaking poorly about anybody else. So how can we judge this man according to what he feels he's doing is right? So no, it's a very good point. It's something I wanted to talk about. Because
but the thing is like, no, I don't go around saying to other men who wife is not covered. I don't go around saying to them, you don't have ghira. No, it's his business. Habibi, let her wear, not wear. I don't give a shit. It's your life. It's your wife. ما تدخل. I don't know why people are so... And the people are like, oh, well, we're fascinated with your life, Ibrahim, because you made yourself public. No, ho. I didn't make myself public. What I showed you is what for you to know, not for what I don't want to show you.
At the end of the day, if there's anything I can share with you with consulting big brands, corporations, you are naturally creating a brand identity. You're building your brand momentum. And it's natural to you when I sit down with people, I'm like, listen.
You know what DJ Bless calls me?
What?
He's like, I'm the Arabic Kanye West.
That's true. Your personality. Look.
Because I have no filter. I'm like, no, ho. I'm like, don't say that.
When I sit with people, I'm like, you gotta create controversy. They're like, oh, no. What are people going to... I'm like, are you trying to create a journey where you need to... You know when you're watching a movie, a suspense movie.
Yeah.
And you want people to be scared. Then they're happy. Then there's laughter. What are the best type of movies? The movies, this is a movie. So you're building a personal brand. So I tell people, listen, man, you got to do something that's going to make people probably hate you. And they're like, no, man, I can't do that. You're doing it naturally. You have the hidayah to do what you got to do naturally, and you're elevating. It's very clear, bro. And may God always strengthen you, give you success, and continue to give you rise in the public eye. So eventually they can understand you, and it's obvious everybody's coming to talk to you, and they're coming to talk to you to show the world who you really are, and you're not going to them saying, I want to do this. We want to come and say, look, this is the guy we love. You know what I mean? And I know this has been a great podcast. I know that we're probably flying out very soon. And I guess I saw, and I'll touch this very briefly. I saw a trailer. So there's a season 3
Yep.
of Dubai Bling.
Yep.
I watched season 2 in one sitting. That's the first time in my life. In my life, people thought I died. People are calling me. They're messaging me. What happened? My God forbid. And I was like, okay, we're getting warmed up now. Season 1, season 2, this is good. Season 1, I watched it in increments. Season 2, watched 1 to 8, and I'm like, where's the rest? And my wife's like, that's it. I'm like, no, there can't be. There's got to be another season, you know? So
take season 1, take season 2, take the drama from them, times it by 10, and that's what season 3 is.
I'm in.
3 is it's making me tired.
Oh
filming.
Wow! I'm getting the I'm getting the caramel popcorn. We're getting the drink. We're turning off our phones, closing our recording when we're trying to arrange this. So, thank you for having us here.
My pleasure.
And we're really looking forward to watching your journey. Thank you for inspiring everyone who feels a little different, who want to be themselves. And
just be yourself. Then trust me, no matter who you try to pretend to be, people are not going to be happy. So most important thing is that you accept yourself, because you're the first person that has to deal with yourself. If you don't accept yourself for who you are, you're never going to make it. You can't convince other people to accept you for who you are if you don't accept yourself.
Exactly.
And stop pretending that you're someone that you're not, because what's looking like on social media, everyone looks the same.
They're not consistent.
They're not. They're just, oh, this guy did it, so I'm going to make my page look just like him. Or he said it, I'm going to do it too.
And then they don't know what to do next. Because as soon as they get there, they're like, okay, what do I do next? Then they see another identity.
Exactly.
And they try to be like that person. And there's a lack of consistency.
Yeah, and trust me, I think people will love you more if you're just who you are. And that's my brand, is me being who I am. I don't do anything for anyone. Everything I do, like when I stand up and speak, for Palestinian human rights, I do it from my heart. I don't do it because I want followers. I don't do it because it's beneficial to me. If it was the other way around, if it was Israelis that were being harmed, I would stand up with Israelis. I always stand for what's right.
A human is a human. God's creation.
Exactly. I don't pick sides based on religion or ethnicity. I pick sides based on who's actually being harmed.
And you, at the end of the day, you're not doing it to get more success. If anything, you're putting yourself in a vulnerable situation.
I have
a duty.
A duty with the platform that I have to say what I believe.
And I see that. And it shows. And because we know, like, there's limitations in certain regions. There's people who want to say something and they don't, and you have the courage to do it.
Whoever can't say anything because they're afraid, no problem. Tell me what you want to say, I'll say it for you.
Yeah, straight up. Yeah.
Because really, no, it's like, khalas, enough is enough. How much today we shut up for this, then tomorrow we're gonna shut up for something else.
Yeah.
Don't learn how to be silent.
And the thing is, I wish people understood. You only achieve this intuition when you travel and experience life. I wish people understood that whatever pain is going on in the world affects us as well, but because we think so dimensional, we don't realize, because we're not there, that it's not affecting us. It's gonna affect us.
Yeah.
And if it's being done to them, it could be done to you. It could be done to the person right across the ocean. It could be done.
I always say that if you accept it for others, then you should accept it for yourself.
Absolutely.
And you should treat others how you want to be treated. And what you accept for anyone's child, you should be accepting for yourself. So you see something wrong, you're supposed to speak about it, because today you speak about them, and then tomorrow someone will speak about you.
Exactly.
So, and it can be in any situation. If you see, let's say, a woman that was sexually harassed in her job, you're supposed to speak up. You say, stop, this is wrong. You see someone being bullied, it's wrong. You're supposed to bring humanity into it and do what's right, not sit there and turn a cold eye because it's easy for you.
And while the world is pushing everybody to become more selfish, as we can see, there's quite a bit of a divide. Everybody's struggling to pay their bills, so they're thinking about themselves. And we see it in some countries where there's people laying in the streets that are harmed, that are hurt, but everybody's just going their own.
Oh, it's crazy.
They walk right over them, and I hope we never see the world go to that. I hope the governments around the world continue to help people embrace who they are.
I remember last time I was in Vancouver, and I went on one street, I think called Hastings, if I'm not mistaken, Hastings Street in downtown Vancouver. I was in tears. bro, like the entire street full of homeless, shooting themselves up with random drugs, would use needles while in front of the police. And I recorded it, and I was like, I told my driver, I was like, I want to get out. I want to talk to him. He said, no, you're crazy. You're gonna get shot or something. I was like, you don't get out here. I'm like, I want to see, why did they end up here? He's like, what are you gonna do about it?
You know,
He said, there's nothing they can do about it. And then I insisted, and I was like, no, I need to speak to an official. This is not normal. I cannot see this. What is going on? This is a rich country. He said, there was a mental asylum, and they closed it, and they had nowhere for us to go, so they put him in the street.
Well, how long ago was that?
Recent. This was like a few months ago.
It's getting really bad all across the country, and you know, it's very unfortunate. But I know one thing is that a lot of these addicts, when you hear their story, I wish, thank God you didn't go out, because sometimes there's like the behavior is unpredictable. But there's one guy I went to high school with, and I'm going to keep this brief. He was supposed to become a doctor. We were all saying, you're the doctor in high school. We call him a doctor. His dad had some back pain. Then he got an injury. Then he started taking his dad's pills, the oxys. Then he became an addict. Then he started robbing places. Then he started.
Oh my God.
Then he started taking fentanyl. Then he got stabbed 20 times. And I got to see him a few years ago, and I'm looking at him and I'm like, what happened to you, bro? All these people are good people, my man. These are good people who all started from a good place and unfortunately got caught in one bad decision, and we'll never pass judgment on them.
You always say the worse get worse and the better get better. Yeah. So when you keep doing wrong, you keep going down. And when you keep doing good, you keep going up.
Yeah.
So it's very hard to make the U-turn from when you're going down. But once you make the U-turn, you start going up, you start winning again. Yeah, things start to get better. But
this
you just
guy's
have to
winning now.
You have to make that U-turn.
This friend that who was on government housing and welfare, like government funding, and now he's making a lot more money than I am because he had the perseverance, alhamdulillah. And there's another story behind that as to the inspiration of helping him overcome it. I happened to need a place to stay, and he's the only one who gave me a place to stay. And he was at his lowest point of his life, sharing meals with me while he's on welfare, living in government housing. I don't know if I want to share this. I was sharing a room with his dog because he didn't have any other place. And with seeing me get up, go to look for a job, put a button up on every morning, he looked at me and all he needed was inspiration. Bro, he found a job before me. He got a car before me. This is a severe drug addict. Found a car, got a job, I'm looking at him. I'm like, what is going? And a few months later, I went on with my life, and he got out of this thing where he was going to rehab every 6 months, dishing out all of his parents' savings, retirement. And all we need sometimes is a little bit of inspiration. That's all we need.
A little bit of push, a little bit of inspiration, a little bit of positivity. Yeah. And you never know what people are going through.
Exactly.
And what you can do to make a change in their life. Absolutely, 100%.
Exactly. So I'm very bad at goodbyes, especially since I'm saying goodbye to Dubai right now, but I'll be back.
I'm very good at goodbyes. Goodbye. Close the door behind you.
Don't let the door shut.
Hasta la vista. Bye salame. No, I'm joking.
Okay. No, but that's a good way.
See you soon.
We'll see you soon. We'll be back. Thank you for doing this. This allows me to come back and look forward to something.
Hayakallah. Dubai is your second home.
Thank you so much.
Ibrahim is your brother.
I appreciate it.
إذا احتاج أي شيء أنا حاضر.
Thank you so much.
واجب هذا علينا.
Habibi, thank you so much. So, guys, if you liked what you just watched, be sure to set a reminder, turn on the notification, follow my man. I don't know his social, but you probably already do.
The Blooming Man.
The Blooming Man. Follow him on Instagram.
Snapchat.
And Snapchat. Oh, Snapchat's big here. Yes. Yeah. Go ahead. What's your Snapchat name?
Same. The Blooming Man.
The Blooming Man.
And TikTok.
TikTok?
The Blooming Man.
The Blooming Man. You see, he's a branding genius. Like, he does not need anybody to tell him. He knows what to do. And does the Blooming Man's kind of, it's part of the because roses bloom.
Yep. Okay. So I'm always bettering myself. So I'm blooming always. Even though I'm getting older, I'm blooming.
All right.
And that's why, like, when I do some podcasts, I have to put some subliminal messages. And if you see the eyes on my shirt, it's actually for the evil eye. So anyone gives me evil eye, it goes back to them.
back to you
in every
guys.
way.
Thank you, my man. It was a
Yalla,
pleasure.
I'll see you.
Habibi. See you.
Thank you.